So have you ever been on YouTube and you've been looking through the featured section and you always see these DIY YouTubers, these gurus that have these perfect colorful slimes and everything like that? Well, we're going to make something like that today. We're going to be making a fluffy slime. And I know you might think, well, what if it's like sticky? Hopefully we can avoid that problem today. So my first point is going to be all of the utensils and ingredients we're going to need to make the slime. We're going to go through the process of actually making the slime and how to do so properly. Then we're going to look at the final product and see whether it was a success or a failure and what we could have done better to improve it. So first off, we're going to start off with naming what we need. We're going to need some borax, cornstarch, at least some source of water. I brought a cup of water in a thermos. You're going to need two separate bowls. They don't need to be a certain size, just they cannot be too small. My smallest bowl is probably this 6-inch, 4-inch bowl. I got an ice cream container as my slime bowl. You're going to need glue, at least 4 fluid ounces, because that's half a cup. You're going to need a measuring system if you haven't already pre-measured it. Shaving cream, if need be. Sometimes that can make it more fluffy to the touch instead of slimy. And then hand soap, which gives it its elasticity, which instead of it being like a brick. So step 2 now, we're going to actually make the slime. So we're going to need 1 small bowl, a cup of water, which I have in this thermos. And again, you can always double, triple, or quadruple what you need. Or you can even cut it in half. Just don't change the amount of the ingredients you use. 1 teaspoon of borax. So borax is your activator. That's what finalizes the slime itself. So once you have everything made in the bigger bowl, you will be pouring this into your actual final product. Then you're going to be using the bigger bowl, and you will have half a cup of glue. 8 fluid ounces is 1 cup, and this is 4 fluid ounces. So you can always just pour the whole bottle in. Generally, you can do that. And this is also something you can do with your family, friends, uncle, niece, cousins, whatever. Just whoever you can make it with. And then we're going to need 1 cup of shaving cream and half a cup of hand soap. No, half a cup of shaving cream, half a cup of hand soap. And of course, when you're done, you should have leftover for shaving. Because that's what normal people do, I think. And again, you can always add more or less. Again, you can you don't want to make too much because then you make a big mess. And then now we're going to do half a cup of hand soap. And this will give it a nice orange color. It almost looks like whipped cream, but I do not suggest eating this because I don't think it's edible. Or at least the soap isn't. Then the cornstarch. Now I could have used more cornstarch, but you might actually want to end up using less because it will take away the viscosity or stretchiness that you normally would get from a better made slime. And then we don't have, so you can use lotion as well, like hand lotion or body lotion to give it a more firmer, more grabbable slime instead of a viscous slime. But we don't have that and we don't need it. So now we're going to add the rest of the borax and water we used earlier. And this is looking like a chemical soup. And in the end, we should have a finalized product that looks similarly like a fluffy slime. And while stirring, this might take a little bit of time, but it should start to clump up and turn into a big mass ball. Again, this is something you can do with the family or your friends. It's a great little DIY project. You can find thousands of videos online on YouTube. You can use different colorings, just different everything. You can find different recipes. One thing you can do is use a Tide Pod and borax, and the whole Tide Pod itself has every ingredient inside of it you can use to make what you need. Now, I would say this does not look like slime, but it almost does. It looks like what I made last night. Now we're on to step 3. Is it a success or is it a failure? Sadly, I would say this is a failure, probably because the baking soda we needed, or not the baking soda, but the cornstarch we needed, stuck to the inside of the bag. And that is normally what you use to make the slime stick to itself, instead of, be a slimy mess. And if we were to say what we could have done better for this third part, I would say we could have used more cornstarch, and we could have probably added more color from the soap. Other than that, I say this slime technically is slime. But I guess that's all we have for today, folks. Have fun making your DIY slime.